America's CIA director offers a staunch defense of his agency and methods used against terror suspects. The director going as far as to criticize the committee that released that harshly critical report. CCTV's Nathan King has been following the story throughout the day. A lot of information. He was up there talking for quite some time, Nathan.
You know, it's interesting, Elaine. The U.S. Central Intelligence Agency is used to working in the shadows. But as Director John Brennan was front and center on Thursday, publicly defending the agency. This follows the publication of that report that accuses the CIA of torture, lying to U.S. lawmakers and the White House, and of hiding the scope of its interrogation techniques at the height of the so-called war on terror. In a robust defense of his agency, the CIA director invoked the attacks of September 11, 2001. On that day, Brennan said the world changed and the CIA had to do the same, and quickly.
In many respects, the program was uncharted territory for the CIA, and we were not prepared. We had little experience housing detainees, and precious few of our officers were trained interrogators. But the president authorized the effort 6 days after 9/11, and it was our job to carry it out.
Deputy Executive Director of the CIA at the time when the agency used enhanced interrogation techniques like waterboarding or simulated drowning, Brennan indicated he was against the practice, but he said the agency was told it was legal.
And we fell short when it came to holding some officers accountable for their mistakes. It is vitally important to recognize, however, that the overwhelming majority of officers involved in the program at CIA carried out their responsibilities faithfully and in accordance with the legal and policy guidance they were provided.
As to the central question of whether the enhanced interrogation techniques or EITs worked and yielded valuable intelligence, Brennan cited the operation to kill Osama bin Laden.
It is our considered view that the detainees who were subjected to enhanced interrogation techniques provided information that was useful and was used in the ultimate operation to go against bin Laden.
But whether that information made all the difference in the killing of bin Laden, Brennan actually said was unknowable. So he kind of passed this whole central question of whether information got from these sort of techniques, torture, actually helped kill Osama bin Laden and others.
You know, really quite a defense laid out by Brennan. What happens now?
Well, the thing is about the Senate report is there's no actual recommendations. And remember, it's a partisan report by Democrats, so Republicans are pushing back on it. The CIA just pushed back on it just now, as we saw with that forceful defense by John Brennan. And the White House has said it's time to move on. So the question is, will we actually see any reforms here? I mean, President Obama has said, no more torture, I'm against it. But people are arguing, human rights groups especially, that unless some legislation is brought through, then torture could be an option for a future president.
You know, and we did see some world leaders weigh in on this, but what are the international implications of all this?
Well, obviously, you know, the immediate worry was threats against U.S. embassies, U.S. interests abroad. But you've got to think about the countries whose citizens were taken for these torture. Afghanistan, for one. They're emerging from, you know, trying to stand on their own 2 feet. There are questions out of Kabul about how many of our citizens got trapped, caught up in this, how many of them deserved it, and also who did it to them. So there's a lot of questions still to be answered, and it's not clear the process this week in Washington will go any way towards that.
All right, Nathan King, thanks for that.